Hi, hey, hello. I'm Lisa Michelle, and this is Rare Pairs, the podcast where I randomly select two different characters from a pop culture fandom and then do my absolute best to get creative and try to create an argument why this pairing would work. Each episode, I will do two different ships, and I'm going to leave it up to the listeners at the end to decide which ship you think made the better rare pair. Tweet your choice at Rare Pairs Pod, or if you have a lot more words to say about it, I'm here. I'm here to listen. Feel free to email the pod at rarepairspod@gmail.com. Also, there is a video component to this podcast if you'd rather watch on YouTube. If you also just want to keep up with different clips on TikTok, there'll also be some highlight reels happening there. All right, that's way more than enough. Let's please just jump in because, baby, it is Targaryen season. And I think that there's no better fandom than to start off this podcast with. You know who I'm talking about. It's the spiciest dragon familial incest show out there right now. It is House of the Dragon Hot D on HBO Max. And I want to give a heads up, I am only going to be referring to the characters and what has happened in season one. I am not going to touch the books because I'm not here to spoil things for people who don't want to be spoiled. It's not what this is about. Okay, so how this is going to work is I have a bowl in front of me where I've typed out the different names of main characters, some side characters, but mainly the main characters. And I'm going to select two names. That will be our first ship. And I'm going to break it down into three categories. The first category is vibe check. What is their energy like in actual canon? Could it work out? Could it not? We'll see. We're going to work this all out together, folks. And then the second category is aesthetics. I mean, come on. How do they look together? Would they be a cute couple? Would there be a little spiciness to it? Probably. We will find this out together. And the third category is alternate universe, where I do my best to give a idea of how this pairing would get together if we are throwing out like the second half of canon. Sweet, now that you know how we're playing, I'm going to reach in front of me. I'm taking out the first name. And oh god. We have Otto Hightower. Who will he get? Reaching in for a second one. Oh no. And Laenor. Okay, so I guess I have to make the most convincing argument as to why Laenor and Otto would be a good pair. Sorry. um Okay. The first category, vibe check. Let's work this out together. Okay, general vibe check of compatibility. It's just one's a bit more of a party boy. Maybe that means Otto could straighten him out a little bit. Ha! Straighten him out. That won't happen. Adult content, folks. So what these two have in common in canon is that I think they both want to do what will make them happy. They are around family members who are making it happen. They want to be in the room where it's happening and also just not exactly be in the way. Okay, let's jump to category number 2, and that is aesthetics. Otto and Laenor. Would they make a cute couple? Who am I? Actually, no, I made this podcast. I'm exactly the person to say this. I don't think they would, if I'm looking at them, I would be like, that is a cute couple. But you know what I will say? There is something to an age difference, given that is consenting between grown adults, obviously. There could be something there. Because what do they have? A 15 to 20-year difference? I don't know their ages off the top of my head. I'm not going to pretend to. Let's say 20 years. Is that a lot? Yes. But if Viserys can be with Alicent, I guess it's the same. I'm thinking of grown Laenor. I feel like I should really emphasize that. I am fully in the camp of consenting adults as we're doing this exercise. Okay, I'm gonna just be honest. No, they wouldn't make a cute couple, but I could see why, older, younger pairing could work for them. And a lot of people, just saying. Okay, my cat has entered the chat for the third category. How would Laenor and Otto get together in an alternate universe? Let me paint you a picture. Funeral for his sister, Lena. Rest in peace, baby. As we saw, Laenor was down in the waters, very, very sad. Understandably. He went through a lot. So he feels very lonely. And instead of Carl going down to get him, what if Otto, and because at this point he's being the hand, he's got eyes all over. I think he would have gone down, keep it quiet, trying to keep the peace as much as you can, working in behind the scenes, kind of like what I was saying earlier. So I could see him going down. Later, so sad. Maybe like a little tipsy, so he's a little vulnerable. And they're talking. Otto's like, you gotta go up. This is not the time. You should not be, waiting in the water right now. Let's just get you out of here. He wouldn't do what Carl did, which was walk him through the middle of everybody to get back. That was a weird take from Carl with a Q. So I think then Otto gets him back to his rooms, and that's the kernel. That's the kernel of trust that is now built. And this it's just beautiful romance of trust. I think it's a slow burn, but maybe it starts from something like that, It starts from the person who actively went there for him, didn't bring him out in front of the whole family, afterwards. Carl. Carl with the Q. And then just takes him to his room. And then who knows, maybe over time, love Laenor. Otto totally could have manipulated him. So I'm not saying it would be healthy. I'm just saying in this AU, maybe he kind of gets Laenor to trust him a bit more and goes on that. But then, maybe then it turns to love. Okay, that's the best I got. That's the best I got. Otto and Laenor, okay? Are there some holes in that story? Yes, but do I care? Not at all. Actually, please let me know if you have other ideas of how these pairings in general would get together. I would love to hear it because this is really an interesting brain exercise. I don't think I fully realized when I was planning this podcast, but I challenge you to also, when I name the pair, maybe pause or just think to yourself how you think this would actually work. If it's a different way, I'm so interested. Please tell me. Okay, so now we're going on to our second pairing. The first one of this pairing will be Rhaenyra. Ooh, okay, this will be fun. Rhaenyra, and she will be with. No. So I picked Rhaenyra first, and the second one is Luke. Yes, Targaryen in the queer cousins, and I hate to say that I'm about to excuse sibling and cousin incest. I don't think I can bring myself to do parental one. I guess apparently that's where I draw my line, not an uncle or a niece, because I ship that so hard. Okay, I'm gonna pick another one. I can't. Maybe I should just establish this now. If it is a parent and their child, it's gonna be a no. It's gonna be a no from this judge. So we're gonna do the next pick, which is oh, it's Corlys. Interesting. Huh. Okay, so task at hand is how would Rhaenyra and Corlys make a good pairing? All right, our first category is, of course, the vibe check using actual canon wise. How would they work? I'm going to use the logic that we know Corlys loves his wife, but he's also kind of doing shit for himself. Rhaenyra is just as ambitious, but not as wise as Rhaenys. But we don't know what Rhaenys was like when she was younger. She could have been just a little bit as impulsive and just as a little hungry, both ascending to the throne when they weren't really thinking that they would be there at that point, but then wanting it when it's in front of them. So, if by that logic, Corlys would be into obviously his wife Rhaenys, he would probably be into Rhaenyra. We know he approved of her idea for the stepstone, saying, "Why not send us, the dragon riders?" So I think they're both very action oriented. I think they're also family oriented, but in the way of it's all about let's not divulge into the dirty details of things. It's about just maintaining the front as well. I mean, as we know, he was supporting a grandson who biologically was not his grandson's claim to Driftmark. So, actually, am I shipping this? I actually think this could work. I think that they would be attracted to each other's ambition. Yeah, because so far Corlys has also aligned with what Daemon's doing. And of course, he's the one who brought Daemon into, the whole Stepstones thing. Oh God, is it a good ship? This is a good one. Okay. Okay, let's just say I don't want this. I want to make it very clear. I really, really, really like Rhaenys. Let's just say I'm kind of jumping ahead. I guess this is the alternate universe. Okay, aesthetics will go last. I'm jumping right into the alternate universe section. We are going off the trails on our first episode. Okay, but imagine if Rhaenys had died, and as we know, Corlys cares so much about the throne. Let's say this all happened in like the many a tragedies that was Lena dying, Laenor quote unquote dying, and then what if Rhaenys died? What if it was something like that? Something was afoot, and it was him. We know how badly he wants to be close to the throne because Rhaenys said you're not doing this for me, you're doing it for you. Of course, he would marry the future queen of the Seven Kingdoms. He would totally do that. I don't think it would be a love match. I don't think there's any world where that would happen. But I think it'd be a very strategic match. And I think Rhaenyra would pose the same question, or I should say, opportunity to Sir Kristen Cole and saying that, like we could still be with other people if we want. And oh yeah, and they would keep babies with silver hair. All right, so jumping back to the second category of aesthetics, how do they look as a couple? Honestly, I think pretty good. Is there an age gap? Yes. As we've acknowledged in the previous one, we're just gonna have to work with that. Corlys is a very handsome. He's a very handsome man. And Rhaenyra's like absolutely gorgeous. I think they make a great couple. That one's easier, I think, to imagine just because if you're just subbing in Rhaenys, who could just be like a more mature version of Rhaenyra. That one's easier to see. I'm gonna give that a pretty high rating as far as aesthetics. They would look very nice together. Okay, now that we've heard from these two, really, some would say special ships. I want to give the listeners just a bit more background for just to help inform your decision. So what I'm gonna do is look up each of these ships on Archive of Our Own, also known as AO3. And if you don't know what that is, I would say probably the largest fan fiction website. It's amazing. You can find anything on there. Well, I mean, anything on there. Mm. Stupid. So I'm going to look for one, has this ship ever been written? And then two, if it has, I'm going to sort by whichever one has the most hits. I'm going to read the title and the blurb to the first one that pops up. So the first one I'm searching is Otto and Laenor. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that no one has taken the opportunity to write about this fic, even though I just gave a very good reason why something could be there. But let's see for in case. All right, so after some really intense research, it looks like there are no hits to Otto and Laenor. Not saying it's a bad ship, that would never happen, but as of now, it looks like it's looking pretty bare out there. I'm going to challenge you. I'm actually going to do this every time. I'm going to challenge you if there is a ship is generated during the show that has no fan fiction. I am going to challenge you to send in a blurb, anything. It could be a single sentence, but please send it my way of what you think would happen in an alternate universe with them. I need it. I think that'd be so fun. So, okay, they have none. Not to say it's a bad ship, but they have none. And now I'm gonna look up Corlys and Rhaenyra, and I'm going to guess that maybe there's like 20. I feel like someone else would see how it could work out for them. And I'm so sorry I said that out loud. Okay, Corlys. I'm actually in full shock. There is not a single one between Corlys and Rhaenyra. I guess no one else has been through the experience we've been through today of a good old thought exercise. Okay, so I challenged someone to write that one as well. I'm actually really surprised. I don't know what it says about me as a person that I'm surprised that there's no Corlys Rhaenyra, but I really felt like given the chance, made a pretty good argument as why it would work out. Yeah, none there. All right. And that is it for episode 1. I really want to hear your opinions of who you think is the better ship. You can contact the podcast at we're on. Wait, it's me. Hi, I'm Lisa again. I just did it again. Oh my goodness. Me, myself, and I are on TikTok, Insta, Twitter. You can email me. It will all be at Rare Pairs Pod, and the email's at rarepairspod@gmail.com. So thank you so much for listening to the first episode of Rare Pairs. I'm really excited about this. I'm going to be doing different fandoms every week. It'll be kind of a cycle between different ones. So, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Disney, Star Wars, etc., etc. Also, if you have ideas, please send them my way. That would be amazing. I will come back because I mean, there's so many potential pairings to do just by the randomness of the nature of this experiment, I guess. Please, let me know what you thought. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your foes, tell your coworkers, tell anyone who you hope has a very weird rest of their day. I think I think this will do it. And also just let me know if you have any ideas of how I can make this better. This isn't a stagnant process. This is episode 1, so I think it'll just keep evolving and getting better. But this is just our first podcast. And thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. So until next time, stay safe and happy shipping. Bye.